There's not enough oil, folks. That's what the International Energy Agency has said. They just issued a report today. I'm going to read you some of the highlights and discuss kind of what they're talking about. But let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth. They are projecting that the world oil demand is forecasted to rise basically this year by 2.2 million barrels per day. Basically, China coming back online because they've stopped locking people in hotels and disappearing people and stuff. Anyway, so they're going to be a lot of additional demand there. Africa's going to come on board as well. So basically, to a total average daily use worldwide of oil of 102 million barrels of oil per day. So demand is going to rise, and it is rising. China's demand recovery continues to surpass expectations. The country has just set an all-time record in March at 16 million barrels per day. I know I'm throwing some numbers at you, but this stuff is going to bite you at the pump sooner than you'd like to think. Hey everyone, welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar and I'm an accountant by trade, but we break down the numbers so that you can follow along with what we're doing here and what we're talking about, what's going on in the world. We get you the news before it actually becomes news. So we're looking a little bit forward to what's going to happen next month and the month after that. Please do hit the like button and let us know how much you really don't like the mainstream media out there. And we're going to keep getting you the deep dives that you need. All right, so not only is demand up significantly, 2.2 million barrels of oil per day, but significant outages also. Significant outages in Iraq, Nigeria, and Brazil. And they were only partly offset by increases elsewhere. And you're not going to like hearing where the increases are. Yep. So there's wildfires in Canada that have shut down production of barrels of oil there. They also have extra cuts because some of the OPEC countries, the oil-producing countries of the world, form their little cartel there. They are implementing more cuts. They really don't like the price of oil being down where it is. And they're working hard to jack the price of oil back up, and you will feel the effect of that soon. So those OPEC cuts take place from April through December. As we get the numbers for production for April, that is going to total cut of production down 850,000 barrels per day. All right, so what's the end of all this? What are they seeing? The problem here is that there's also supply cuts due to the fact that Turkey and Iraq are kind of going at it again. That's the northern Kurdistan region. If you've been watching the news at all, you know Turkey is a little bit unstable right now with the election. Also, they are cracking down hard on Kurdish people again. But the good news that they've already kind of built into those numbers is Russian oil supply is continuing to be, as they put it, resilient. In April, Russian oil exports reached a post-invasion high of 8.3 million barrels per day. So clearly those sanctions are working. By our estimates, Moscow did not deliver its announced 500,000 barrels per day supply cut. So they promised to cut, but they didn't. And they're just like, let's just keep shipping this oil out. And apparently the sanctions aren't stopping them from shipping out record amounts of oil. The country's oil export revenues rose by $1.7 billion. So the sanctions aren't working, basically. It says Russia seems to have very few problems finding willing buyers for its crude oil products, frequently at the expense of fellow OPEC members. So all that's happening with the with the sanctions and the embargoes is basically it's just causing them to sell it for a little bit less to the countries that are willing to take it. Where that's also causing problems is that it's shifting the oil away from where it would naturally go to other countries, so that those countries' refineries are running faster and running more product, but the countries like in Europe and stuff like that, they're not having enough feedstock in order to shove into their refineries, and so those remain shut down. And so we're seeing a lot less processed fuels hitting the market, both in the United States as well as in Europe, and so that is causing some issues with gas and diesel and jet fuel not being in the right places, and they expect some of those to be kind of like spotty outages out there. So we haven't seen too much in the United States here, but we may see more of that going forward. Also, they mentioned that the release of record volumes from IEA government stocks over the past year. Now, the IEA doesn't actually have any government stocks. What it's talking about is the stocks of member countries. Namely, we're looking at you, United States. Biden decided to sell that extra 3 million barrels of oil, just because, even though he's supposed to be filling it back up. So we just sold 3 million barrels of oil from the strategic reserve. Sorry, the strategic petroleum reserve. Forgot my words there. And so we're supposed to be refilling that thing, but we just sold more of it because apparently China wants us weaker, and they have their guy in the office to make sure that happens. So the prices have been pushed down a little bit by this record sending out of oil from government stocks. The United States is not the only one, but it is the big one out there, and that is making it seem like we don't have a problem when we really do. And so prices are down on oil when they really shouldn't be. And that's kind of one of their main points. Is preliminary data for April show a rise in on-land product stocks. So the oil is coming in, and that's talking about before it gets refined, right? So they're building up stocks in front of the refineries. But like I said, part of the reason for that is because it's at the wrong refineries. So there's too much oil sitting at certain refineries, but other refineries are having to shut down elsewhere because they don't have enough oil. And that's being because of these economic sanctions and just the way the world is turning and such like that. So tanker prices are up because they're trying to move this oil around, and also the diesel, gasoline, and finished products, they're trying to move this stuff to where it needs to be, and that's causing some issues out there. So in the end, what should we expect going forward here? We should expect oil prices to go up, is what they're saying. Over the next couple months, we're going to see oil prices going up, and that's probably not going to come back down for a bit. And in addition to that, we're going to see some spotty outages of gasoline, diesel, and because the refineries that normally feed the United States and other places are not going to have the oil to produce those things with. So this would be a good time to rotate some of your gasoline stocks, diesel stocks. If you have some on hand and you want to refill them, this is a good time to do that because prices are down now and they won't be forever. And be bracing for higher gas prices in the next month or two, and expect that to continue through the end of the year is what they're saying. All right, folks, if you guys have comments or questions about oil prices, gas, all that kind of stuff, pop them down in the comments down below. Please do hit that like button. We appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.